Hey, Chad, do you want to watch a movie?
Yeah.
How about...
No, not again.
Okay, what about...
I just saw that last week.
Okay, oh, I got it.
Wait. You want me to watch what?
So, what'd you think of Witness?
You know, I think Harrison Ford should have played more cops.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I've got more thoughts when we get into it, but I don't want to give anything away. Spoilers, you know?
Fair enough. Yeah, spoilers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Want Me to Watch What? Where Chad and I, who have watched thousands of movies independently, are watching them together, specifically ones that the other hasn't seen. My pick for this week was the 1985 film Witness, starring Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So let's just kind of get into the plot, and then we'll jump into the discussion. The movie starts in a Pennsylvania Amish community. It's a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And we are introduced to Rachel and her son, Samuel. Apparently it was Rachel's husband that passed away. A short while later, Rachel and her son are going to go to Philadelphia to visit Rachel's sister, just to kind of get away a little bit and help with the grieving process. And so they go to, they get on a train and they stop at a train station, and there's a delay. And so Samuel, they've been there for a while. Samuel has to go to the bathroom, and while he's in there, a couple people come in, and one of them is murdered. Samuel, a very quick-thinking boy, is able to evade detection and then, clearly alerts, and then the police show up and all that stuff. Harrison Ford plays Captain John Book, is kind of the lead investigator on this, and starts talking to them. Samuel thinks he can identify the person if he sees a picture. And they go through, lineups and mugshot books, and Samuel isn't seeing anybody until they're at the police station, and he's just kind of taking a break and wandering around and sees a picture of another officer, McPhee, played by Danny Glover. And he's like, that's him. That's the one. And Harrison Ford is like, okay, McPhee's been on my radar for a while as kind of a dirty cop. And so he goes to tell his boss. And Schaefer. And he says, we'll play this by the book, but we can get him. So Book sets up Rachel and Samuel up at his sister's place as kind of stay here, you'll be safe. And that night, as Book is getting ready to go home, McPhee shows up and tries to shoot him, tries to kill him. A shootout occurs, McPhee gets away, but Book is shot in the side. The only one he told about McPhee was Schaefer, so he knows now that Schaefer is a dirty cop and he's in league with McPhee. He goes, he gets Rachel and Samuel, calls his partner from a payphone and says, destroy the files. I don't want them to find this kid. Stuff's gone down. And he takes them back home. Because the records have been destroyed, no one's going to be able to really track them down, because the Amish community in Pennsylvania alone is massive.
Yes, it is.
And their last name is one of the most common last names among the Amish communities. And so he figures they'll be home, they'll be safe. They don't use they don't do anything that would ping them on a radar or something. And then he was going to go off and hide somewhere else. Well, his gunshot wound wasn't tended to, and so as he's leaving, he passes out behind the wheel. They take him inside, hide the car, and they treat his wounds. And over several days, he finally gets better. But he's not healed up to drive yet and go anywhere. So he's living in this Amish community, and he has to sort of integrate himself into this culture. He does start healing up, and he starts milking cows. And it's revealed that he dabbled in carpentry, so he's trying to repair the very nice birdhouse that he drove into when he passed out, and eventually helps with a barn raising. And over the course of this unknown amount of time, I don't know how long he's been there, days, weeks, it's very clear that there's a bit of sexual tension between Book and Rachel. Just, it starts off small with looks and smiling, and then he gets the car working a little bit, and the radio kicks on, and then they start dancing in the barn, and she's having a great time. And then he sees her bathing, and she sees him see her, and she doesn't cover up or anything. Well, it's about this time that they finally pin down, the bad cops have finally pinned down where Book is. He had gone into one of the towns to make a phone call, finds out his partner's dead, and the Amish people he's with are being harassed by tourists. Well, Book is not the kind of guy to let this slide, and also he's very upset because of his partner, and so he starts kicking ass in the middle of this town. Well, the police had been calling around all the communities in the sheriff's department, and one of them called them back and said, "Hey, I think I got a lead on your guy," because there was an incident and people talked about it. So we don't know if Book and Rachel actually full-on consummated their relationship, but there was kissing. And then we cut to either like early the next morning, and we see McPhee, Schaefer, and one other cop pull up to the edge of where Book is hiding, get out a bunch of guns, and start walking onto the property. They break in the door, and Eli, the grandfather, Rachel's dad, manages to alert Book at the last second, so he's able to kind of go sort of hide. And systematically starts to take out the three bad guys. The first guy he takes out by luring him into a grain bin and then dumping a ton of corn on him, which is not a good way to go.
No, it isn't.
Slow suffocation. He manages to get the shotgun out of the corn and shoots Danny Glover at the last second, which just leaves Schaefer. Schaefer has now taken Rachel hostage and is threatening to shoot her if Book doesn't surrender. Samuel, the kid, who was told to run away, came back and is ringing the dinner bell at this house like crazy, which is unusual. And the other neighbors who are out in the fields kind of getting the day started hear this, and they all converge on this house. And it's at this point that Schaefer's, Book is talking to Schaefer. He's like talking him down. He's like, are you gonna shoot all of us? Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And Schaefer realizes he has no choice and surrenders. The cops show up. Book explains everything, and the next day, Book is leaving. because the options for him and Rachel are either he stays in this community, which isn't where he belongs, or Rachel leaves with him, which in the long run isn't where she belongs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of one of those ship passing in the night love stories. And we see the last thing in the movie is Book driving away.
Mm-hmm.
So give me your thoughts on this film.
So this is what I'm going to call a measured film. It very much has the bones of this thriller, right? This idea that there is this great danger, and when is this danger going to erupt, and how is it going to affect folks and the different characters. But the length of time it takes to get to the danger is revealed. Like, because the shooting and the initial chase thing, they're in like the first 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Also, Danny Glover should have played more bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Ford should have played more cops. And Danny Glover should have played more bad guys. Man, he was a good bad guy.
Oh, absolutely.
And so in this first 20 minutes, you get the funeral. By the way, don't know if you picked up some of the German.
I did. I couldn't understand a lot of it, but I did pick up some of it.
You know, and then
and that was exciting because I'm like, oh, I know this.
I know what those words are. And then Book basically being shot, escaping, and so forth, and getting the kid and the mom and going. It's the action part that starts the movie, but then it all just goes away. And like you said, it's this relationship building where he's not in a place that he belongs, but it's like he's also, for the first time in a long time, discovering his humanity. Mm-hmm. Harrison Ford's character. I also really appreciated the change in some of the Amish, the Amish attitude toward him when it showed like, oh, he's a carpenter. Like before he did this thing, before he was this violent person, he also can do this thing. And so, knowing how to swing a hammer, you know, when they do the barn raising, which, fun fact, they actually did raise a barn in a day for the filming of that. But they did But they did it with cranes off screen. But I wasn't so sure about this movie going in. Because 1985, you know, this police procedural, you know, undercover kind of thing. I'm like, what am I getting? Because the mid 1980s were not great for these types of movies. To go back to with modern eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was kind of where I'm like, what kind of bull am I going to be shown here? Because this is 40 years old and policing has changed a great deal culturally as well as as well as in terms of the stories that we tell. But it overturned those expectations, and I'm really glad for it. I'm glad that I watched it for that, because it's a police movie in the same way that Psycho is a police movie. There are police involved, but really what you're doing is uncovering the mystery of who's actually in place and then the chase to get to them.
Yeah.
And that was really good. This is one of those movies I could see like an Alfred Hitchcock being proud of. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever your feelings on Alfred Hitchcock are, and those can be complicated too. What we have is a movie that dares the audience to accept we're going to slow way the hell down and still keep you engaged by handing you a bunch of relationships that do not work. That Book and the mom do not work. They are never going to work. That's the point. There's this tension, there's this relational connection they have to him, and how much of that is real and how much of that is tied specifically because they are endangered together against the same foe.
Yeah.
And while we cut to these other people, other bad people who are doing these things, how is each one getting closer? And what's going to happen next? And what's going to happen next? All in the middle of, wow, this is really good lemonade. And what's going to happen next? And what's going to happen next? And he knows how to fix a wood thing. And what's going to happen next? And what's going to happen next? Until finally you get to the punching the tourist in the face because leave these people alone.
Yeah.
Just because I'm dressed up like them, their way is not my way.
There's one scene early on. No, not early on. It's just before. It's the same scene where he ends up beating the crap out of somebody for harassing his friends, effectively. A bunch of tourists have just shown up, and you can hear like one of the bus drivers say, "Now the Amish don't like their picture taken, but you can do it if you're on the sneaky, that kind of thing."
Mm-hmm.
He's going to the payphone, and somebody starts harassing him, like, "Let me take your picture. Let me take your picture." And he leans in close and says, "If you take my picture with that thing, I'm going to take your brassiere off and strangle you with it."
Mm-hmm.
And the only way Harrison Ford could say something like that.
Oh yeah.
Look, kid. Look, kid. And then it's the end of that scene where he, beats the crap out of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a very good fish out of water story.
Oh, yeah.
That and character study in order to give a reason for him being there, they inserted the murder and the dirty cop aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because on its own, somebody like John Book ending up in an Amish community without cause or, without any other reason of, okay, he's there, he's stuck there, It's... Do you remember? I don't remember the name of it, but there was a Tim Allen, Kirstie Allen movie where they're big shot New Yorkers and they end up in Amish country because they're hiding from the IRS.
Okay. For richer or poorer?
Yeah. And, it's that kind of situation, but it leans heavily into the comedic side of this kind of situation, and it also, in my opinion, plays more to the stereotypes of the Amish community.
Yeah.
Whereas this seems to treat it with respect. It's like this is how they live. This is their culture. We're just showing it to you.
Ultimately, the way the Amish are presented in this movie, they come out ahead in terms of the cultural clash that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Book asking for his gun and his bullets and so forth, it's very clearly that every time he has that, he's making the wrong choice until the bad guys actually get there.
Yeah.
And even then, he's not using his.
Yeah. When he takes it because he's paranoid that somebody's going to show up randomly and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But when they do finally show up, he doesn't have his gun on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he only took it when he was leaving to go into town. And they came to him.
Right. And so the ending, which I'll admit, the ending to me was absolutely fantastic when the community shows up and basically serves as the third side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got Book on one side, you've got the captain or whatever the hell his name was.
Schaefer, yeah.
Schaefer on the other side. And then suddenly you have this third side that's showing up just to watch, knowing that you cannot eliminate that third side. And so there is going to be somebody left to tell the story. You're clearly not going to get away with it.
Right.
You know, there is no possible way at that stage to get away with it. I really enjoyed that. I really appreciated that because this is a thriller that at the very end threatens to become an action movie only for it to remain a thriller.
Yeah.
You know, the number of action scenes, maybe 6 minutes? Everything else is suspense. Everything else, it's 117 minutes long. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There are 3 action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
The initial murder, the confrontation between Book and McPhee, where Book gets shot, and the end.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is
drama,
character development, or character study.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, good movie.
Oh yeah, I give it a see it simply because it's a good Harrison Ford movie. You typically can't go wrong if he is the lead actor.
Mm-hmm.
Because his portrayal itself is always good. Even the worst of the Indiana Jones movies, he's still a good actor.
Mm-hmm. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is I give it a see it. What is your take on it?
I give this a see it. This is, go ahead and see this. This is one of those surprising movies of the 1980s that doesn't require a caveat in terms of what you're going to see.
Yeah.
The things that aged poorly are so minor.
Mm-hmm.
So minor. And they don't ultimately matter because the film is not trying to be anything but something that's happening in 1985.
Yeah.
Also see it for one Viggo Mortensen's very first screen role.
Yes.
It wasn't his first film role, but the scenes that he was in his first role were deleted. So, because
it's a blink and you miss it kind of thing. He doesn't even have any speaking lines.
Mm-hmm.
He's a background character, but it's him.
Yep, one of the Hawklightners.
Yep. And speaking of the Hawklightners, Daniel.
Alexander Goodenough.
He plays Daniel in the movie, who is. It's alluded to that he is sort of like wanting to court Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And he is very standoffish of Book and like, all right, you're here. And they get to the barn raising scene, and you can tell Daniel is not happy that he's here, and is like, okay, what's he going to do? And then as they're building the barn and he sees Book knowing what he's doing, he's like, okay. And by the end, it's like, okay, I don't hate you.
Well,
but Alex, how do you pronounce his last name?
Basically, good enough.
Good enough. Is one of the terrorists in Die Hard.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's
the one at the end that races up at the end to shoot John McClane and then gets shot by Carl Winslow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was a ballet dancer.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Alexander Goodenough.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
His early career was a ballet dancer. Yep. So.
All right.
Then he defected to the United States. While he was on tour with the ballet, with the Bolshoi. Yeah. He was on tour with like one of the ballet troupes in New York City and basically asked for asylum and defected. So
well done him.
Yeah.
There's your history lesson for today, folks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a see it from me. It's a see it from you.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes it your turn.
I'll come up with something.
All right.